Hola, yo soy señora Loera, tu maestra de español. I'm so glad you've been all the way through this. We've learned a lot of Spanish lately. Today, my plan is to learn about the verb to like. It is tricky, but don't worry, I'll give you certain tips to understand the verb to like and how we apply it to Spanish language. Stay until the end so we can do some exercises together. Vamos a empezar. So we have the verb gustar. As I wrote on the paper, gustar means to like. It could be a verb that ends with AR. We could conjugate the verb normally as we do other verbs. But the verb to like expresses when someone likes something, correct? When it's not, the problem is that it's not like when you like, it's when you please. I'll explain it because it's a little confusing. So you have to think of the verb gustar like saying, I like your house. I'm going to write it on the paper. I like your house. So I like it, but we're talking about your house, right? So it doesn't sound okay if we do the normal way we know how to say the verbs gustar. Yo gusto tu casa. That does not sound round. That is not okay. That does not sound right. So we're going to do something to the verb gusta, but we're going to do something more important to the beginning of the sentence. That's going to tell us who is doing the action, who's performing the liking, if it makes sense. So let's start with our chart, and I'll write it right here. So we have our normal chart that we already know how to do. On the left side, we have singular. On the right side, we have plural. So I'm going to put the indirect object pronoun. It sounds like a lot. We'll have another video to do indirect and direct object pronouns. But right now, you just need to learn these 5 small words. The first one, when we're talking about myself, I say me. When we're talking about someone else, te. When it's someone, he or she, le. Right side, plural, nos. It's we. And les, it's they. So it's the same format we've been using to put the chart when we conjugate a regular verb. But in the verb gusta, that means to please, we're going to think it about a 2-step verb. So let's play. I like your house. I'm not even going to write yo gusto tu casa because it sounds horrible. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to think, who are we talking about? We're talking about the house, but I like your house. So what we're going to do to say I like, we're going to put, first of all, the word me in front of the sentence because it's yo. It goes on the place of yo. So we start the verb with the sentence with me. And then we go to the verb gustar. So I'm going to put it right here and then I'll explain it a little bit more. Me gusta. See how we did something to the verb? I'll explain in a second. Me gusta, and now we're talking about your house. Tu casa. Me gusta tu casa. I like your house. So saying me gusta is expressing that I like your house. We would do the same thing for he or she likes your house. Let's say she likes your house. Le gusta tu casa. Can you see? He or she is le, so that's how we're starting our sentence. That's how it goes. So we have me gusta tu casa. So this is going to tell us to whom the verb is done, and we're going to put it in the front. Okay, so for the verb gustar, I'm going to write the chart for the verb gustar, but we're just going to use 2 ways of saying gustar. Let me write it. We have gusto, following the normal chart we already know. Gustas, gusta, gustamos, y gustan. So we're going to treat the verb gustar as if we're saying it. I like it. That is the indirect object pronoun that we'll talk about later, but we'll use it for the verb gustar. So we're going to use gusta if the thing we're talking about, the thing we like, it's in singular form, we will use the verb gusta. If the thing we're talking about, it's plural, then we'll use gustan. You see, follows the same chart. On the left, we do singular. On the right, we do plural. So let's go and say more sentences. For example, I like your car. So the first step was me. That means I. And then to say gusta, is car singular or plural? Let's think. Carro. Carro ends with an O. It's just one car. So I would go ahead and use gusta. Me gusta. And if it's your car, I would say tu carro. I like your car. Yes? So it's a two-step. First, we put me, te, le, nos, or les, depending on who is doing the liking, the pleasing. And then we think, is the thing we're talking about plural or singular? For example, me gusta tu carro. So let's do it with, for example, something that's plural. For example, sports. We're not just talking about one sport, we're talking about several sports. So let's pretend we're going to say, we like sports. So to start off, we is nosotros. We're included. It's the right part of the chart. So for gusta, I would use nos. I'll put in English in the top and then in Spanish in the bottom. We, for liking, we're saying nos. Okay, second step. Sports. Sports en español es deportes. Nos gustan. See the difference? Because sports is plural. Los deportes. We like sports. So it depends on who's doing the action, first step. And then second step is that thing we're talking about singular or plural. So we can try this with all the pronouns. I'm going to do a different one, which is a question. We normally ask in the tú form when we're asking someone, do you like food? Do you like hamburgers? Do you like movies? So we ask in the tú form. To put in the tú form, we don't start with tú. We go to a chart. How does it start with? Te. In Spanish, we do this question mark at the beginning to put it, it's like an upside down question mark. And we ask, te, do you, I'll put it small on the top. Do you like? Let's talk about movies. Movies en español es películas. So we have te, and then we have películas, plural, so gustan las películas, and it has an accent mark. Question. Do you like movies? ¿Te gustan las películas? Someone is asking you specifically, do you like movies? And then how do we answer if we want to say yes or no? I like movies. We just answer sí, I do. To say yo, I, for gusta, we use me. Sí, me, plural, gustan las películas. So we ask in the tú form, ¿te gustan las películas? We answer in the yo form, sí or no, me gustan las películas. So we really need to think of who are we pleasing by saying me, te, le, nos, or les, and I'll put it again right here. First step. And then the second step. Are we saying are we liking something singular or are we liking something plural. So let's do one more example. And I have, for example, the word water. Do you like water or do you like soda? So let's think. Water is agua. Soda is, it could be soda or refresco, like a refreshment. So we're thinking, we're putting the first part in the tú form. Do you like? So again, te gusta. Because water, which is just 1 cup of water, te gusta. The word water, even though it ends with an A, we say el agua. I know it sounds different. We'll just have to learn it that way. Te gusta el agua. O el refresco. I particularly don't like soda, so I'm just going to go ahead and say agua. So, me gusta, because I'm talking by myself. Me gusta el agua. So if you can practice different pronouns, we like, they like, he likes, she likes. I'll leave again the charts, but the more practice we have about knowing a small thing, for example, food, comida. Le gusta, he likes la comida. He likes food. We like Spanish. We nos gusta, because it's Spanish, it's just one, it's singular. El español. Yes. We'll go, I remember when we talked about family, that family, even though it's a lot of people, it's just one. But let's think about I like my family. And we'll wrap up with that. So I like, me gusta. I like, me gusta, mi familia. So even though familia has a lot of people, it's a group of people and we're taking it as singular. So, me gusta mi familia. I'm going to leave this up here. Go ahead and write it down in your notes. This is a verb we use a lot because it's easy to conjugate once we get the hang of it. That was it for today. Yo soy Señora Loera, tu maestra español. See you next time for more videos in how to learn Spanish. Adiós.